Hi, Gemini. Let's get started. I do apologize. I've been working my ass off trying to get just everything all caught up. Of course, real life stuff, as well as sorry, I've got a new setup going on, right? But I've been trying to do real life stuff in addition to readings. So I know I'm not scoring any brownie points with you guys, but here's your Samhain reading, Wheel of the Year from November 2024. Even though November is basically done, all the way through to October of 2025. Take a look at the description box of the video for everything you need to know, as well as where you can get your natal chart done for free. It's super comprehensive, and that way you can know your rising and moon sign, your Venus sign, because, I assume that you're here for your sun sign. What we're going to do is it's going to be a lengthy read because I do clarification for this one, and it is the Wheel of the Year. There's going to be magnetic poetry. There's going to be oracle messages and all that kind of stuff. So there will be timestamps in the description box as well. If you don't know, my name's Ashley. It's actually ashesthedawn, but my name's Ashley. I'm clairsentient, claircognizant, and clairaudient. When I hear ringing in my ears on the left, it's messages from my spirit guides. And when I hear it on the right, messages from people I know that have passed on. What we're going to do is we're going to start with songs. I channel songs as I am getting ready and preparing to do your reading. And don't mind me while I get our timestamps put in here, because I'm doing this by myself, But songs for you were Untrue by Cold Chamber, Rich Girl by Soul X, The Line by Foo Fighters. And it was really interesting. What caught my attention in the line was he says, "I'm a blood moon born in the dead of the night." And if we look back, the last blood moon that we had was November 8th of 2022. At least that's what the internet says. And the next blood moon is going to be on March 13th to 14th of 2025. So pay attention for the blood moon. Normally that's a time for deep introspection when it comes to grief, frustration, anger. So it's a time of going inward and taking a deep look at oneself, as well as those emotions, those deep, dark emotions, right? So that was super poignant in that song. Then Shuffle Your Feet by Black Rebel Motorcycle Club and Getting Better by the Beatles, because it is indeed getting better all the time. Ash, you're funny. So we are going to look at your magnetic poetry next. So that's going to be from the Divine Circus Oracle. And typically I don't read, and I want to apologize, my eyes will look funny because there's a light, recording light on this new webcam, and I keep looking at the light instead of looking right into the camera, which I assume is somewhere right in the middle there, but it's kind of dark because I do have another ring light that I'm using instead of the little tiny stupid one. But we're using the Divine Circus Oracle for you, and normally I channel the messages for the Divine Circus Oracle, or rather for my Oracle decks in general, because I don't really like using Oracle decks as much. But we're going to read from the book. Already pre-shuffled, but as you can see, I've been shuffling as I've been talking. What do we have for you, Gemini? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for your message for 2024-2025. Ooh, nice. I don't think I've ever pulled this one. Number 4, Tiger Angel. Alrighty, kids. So firm foundations there for you with that number 4. And are we going to have a problem with the lighting because of this? Let me fix my lighting a little. There, that's better. I want to make sure that you can see it and that it's going to look okay on camera. Tiger Angel, number 4. Let's see what we have. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to be all professional grade on this stuff. I got to go to work in like 3 hours. Anyway, Tiger Angel. We all have moments where we wonder if we are doing such a great job at this game of life. The idea of helping others might appeal, and yet when we have our moments of struggle in our own lives, we may question whether or not we are a good candidate to protect, guide, and nurture others. And when the desire to create a positive contribution to the world exists in your heart, you must remember that such desire was placed there on purpose for your life purpose. The universe knows what you are capable of and believes in you. Even though you don't always realize it, you have the light of an angel and the fierceness of a tiger within you. You are capable of so much more than you realize. One of your spiritual gifts is the art of invisible influence. This empowers you to guide others without breaking the spirit of those you lead. You don't need to tell others what to do or how to be. You can simply hold a vision of them in your heart, a vision that sees them being and becoming all they can be. Your influence becomes powerful in the lives of others based on how you choose to live. Even if you don't say a word, your presence assists. Maybe your invisible influence extends to your family, your friends, your neighbors, your coworkers, or your clients. I just heard somebody say, well, maybe I don't want to be invisible. Interesting. It might even be the world at large you are helping, simply through how you choose to think and be in your life. There is a truth in your heart, the truth that knows every being is loved and deserves to feel safe and live their life in freedom and truth. Your adherence to this truth can tame even the most fearful and resistant thoughts within you and the people around you. Remembering the ability you have to calm the heart and empower the soul creates a feeling of security within you. Your invisible influence also helps all beings to remember that there is no need for fear, and that together we can create a world where all creatures are happy and free. I'm just thinking about my brother. My brother is a Gemini, so there's a healing trick that comes along with this. Get down on all fours if you can and be a tiger. If you want to stretch like a big cat and growl a little, maybe swipe your paws with claws outstretched. Feel free. Say aloud 3 times, there's a tiger of light burning bright within me. Do a few more of your tiger moves, and then when you're ready, change your posture so you're sitting or standing within your hands in a prayer position at your heart. Bow your head gently towards your hands and raise your hands gently towards your forehead so the tips of your fingers lightly touch your head. Say aloud 3 times, within me is an angel of power and peace. If you're not already standing, stand up now, feet firm on the ground, and then say, I am a tiger angel, wild and divine. I protect and am protected. I love and am loved. I guide and am guided through unconditional love, now and always. You may like to repeat this 3 times. Now, outstretch your arms and imagine you are holding the world in your loving embrace. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm getting that some people are going to think this is stupid. And that's just my own opinion. I actually was hearing Eye of the Tiger while this was happening. So I would scratch all of that healing bullshit if I was you. That's just me being straight up with you, gems. I think that you need to listen to Eye of the Tiger and get into it that way, you know? Even though that's not necessarily everybody's cup of tea. I know that, you know, I'm dating myself, right? Like, that song was like a... Anyway, there is an affirmation also that comes along with this, and I do believe in affirmations. Tiger angel, burning bright, I am power, love, and healing light. I would just say, I am power, I am love, and healing light. And just say that to yourself every morning, you know, a couple times. I don't know. This one was an interesting message. However, I'm not a fan of the healing tricks on it. I don't know. This is why I don't read these things. And I'm just being real with you, right? On this Sunday morning. Alrighty, so what we're going to do next for you is we're going to pull your magnetic poetry. And I want to make sure that you're aware that I'm not kind of encouraging you to read the messages a certain way. So I'm going to put it in a list format. You can pause and you can take a look at this yourself and you can write them down, you know, and just kind of see if you come across any of these words or the keywords make any sense to you in particular, Gemini. You got a lot of words. You got a lot of she and her. Ooh, the song Diamond Heart. I got Diamond and Heart. Like, right. You know the song Diamond Heart by Lady Gaga? Or a Purple Heart. It's interesting. I'm not flawless, but I got a diamond heart. That's a lot of words, man. Anyway, take a look at those. Jot them down. Press pause so you can write them all out. I do realize if you press pause, the pause, you know, symbol is going to be in the middle. So let me try and put them somewhere that you're not going to have the pause. So that you can see while you got them paused. Anyway, that's what we have for you with your magnetic poetry for this month, or for the whole year, rather. Now we're going to go into the shuffle. I do want to make sure that you're aware that while I'm shuffling, I will be channeling. We're going to use the Joie de Vivre tarot for you. And once we've done the Joie de Vivre tarot, and we've done the whole wheel of the year, which I'm not actually going to read the cards during the shuffle, I'm going to do my channeling. Then we will do the read and the clarification using the Deviant Moon Tarot. And we'll start with a Deftones Major Arcana for your theme of the year, your archetype for the whole year. So, it's interesting, the Diamond Heart. I'm not flawless, but I got a Diamond Heart. Come on, baby, do you have a girlfriend? Somebody's interested. Young, wild American. Come on, baby, do you have a girlfriend? Come on, baby. Do you have a girlfriend? Hey, Google, what year did Lady Gaga write Diamond Heart?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Hey, Google, what year did Lady Gaga write the song Diamond Heart?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
It's fine. It's fine. I was lucky I even got this one set up in here. Thanks. Thanks for nothing, Google. We'll see. Oh, now it's like all popped up on my screen here. Just get out of here. Is it ever going to go away? Oh my god. Sweet. Sorry, I just had a big rectangle on my screen because I launched my Google Assistant. So, I had to get rid of that. Yeah, if you didn't notice, we're not using the phone anymore. Alright. Just for fairness for you, Gemini. Oh, cruel king made me tough. Daddy's girl is never good enough. You've had a weird theme with that, though. If I look at all of your readings that I've ever done. Gemini, November 2024. What's your energy for this month, even though it's almost over? Still have a few days left. I'm sorry, you know. I'm working 2 jobs right now. I've got a customer service job, literally working on a customer service desk. And for like half the money I make at my other job, which is an office job that I work full time. The Hermit in the reverse for November. December 2024 for Gemini. So I'm working like 70 or 80 hours a week. 70 to 80%. That's something for you. 70-80 or 7080. Which would be 150, something about 150. The number. The Magician, that's you. Connecting with the self, perhaps. During December. January 2025. 30, 31, 50 remembers. 5 of coins. I have to remember with these cards to kind of pan out a little bit more because they just get, because of the finish on them, they get washed out by the camera. February 2025. Gemini. got two. The Queen of Swords in the upright with Justice in the upright. Ooh. Dealing with a Libra during February. Or with legal matters. Super huge. You got the double Justice there. Really. Or the double Libra. March. This would be during the blood moon time that we were talking about. March. For Libra. See, you are dealing with a Libra. Gemini. For Gemini, for March 2025, what do we have? Oh, we have a flipper and we have a jumper. The High Priestess with the Three of Cups. This is kind of like a timing card, isn't it? Ooh, March 3rd. I think it's interesting that we have the Three of Cups, which is it's the third month. And then we have the High Priestess, which is, oh, interesting. She's got 1, 2, 3. She's got 3 balloons there, but she's ruled by Pisces. Or she is the Piscean card. Interesting, eh? That's March for you. April. Gemini. April 2025. The Fool. Oh, that'd be Aries energy. It's almost like we got timing going on here. Something about timing because we go from Pisces season to Aries season in April. Pisces for March, Aries for April with the Fool. May for Gemini. May 2025 for Gems. Okay. 10 of Wands. Come on, baby, do you have a girlfriend? Don't think I don't know my worth. Want a good thing, put the money down first. Cause soon I'm working out of here. June, we have the Four of Swords. July, for you Gemini. Oh, it's 3. I have a rule about taking no more than 3 cards when they flip or jump. Page of Swords in the reverse with the 9 of Coins and the Emperor for July. Page of Cups. See the letter there? September. Boom. No. It's the Tower or hitting the mark, something hitting the mark during September. Boom. When it all comes crashing down. Yeah, a tower. I can see it. I got a crystal ball. Yeah, the Page of Wands. Yeah, see that? There's an announcement. In October. The Star. Here, let me do that. So you can enjoy the colors a little bit more. Okie dokie. Bottom of the deck, the Hangman in the reverse, Piscean energy, gaining perspective on something. It's not the attempt to gain perspective when it's in the reverse. It's the realization of perspective. It's where the perspective has been gained, where you have seen all of the possible viewpoints on a subject. It's enlightenment of some sort. Okay, let's get into your reading. 2025. Nice. That's the timestamp. We're going to start with the Deftones Major Arcana Tarot so we can get a look at what your archetype is for the year. And that way we can kind of get a feel for the major lesson, the major theme that you should be looking at over the next year. This deck is only for those. Funny. I still think that I'm weirdly on a cell phone, and that that when I lean over you can't see me or something. Are you trying to hide off camera, trying to do things off camera so that nobody can see, but you know that there's like an all-seeing eye no matter what you do? Like somebody's watching all the time. Like it's an inescapable. You don't have any privacy. One sec. You don't have any privacy. Not even for a minute. 1 second here. Yeah, you don't have privacy even for a minute. They wanted me to cut the deck. No, I'm not going to cut the deck. For all intents and purposes, I'm going to show you what this is, but you're not going to believe it because I just paused. I'm going to continue to shuffle, but this was what you got. The Tower. We'll shuffle some more. Gemini. What is your major theme for 2024-2025? We have the Moon in the reverse, realization. Things coming to light of day that were hidden in the dark. Confusion lifting. Something being revealed to you through the dream state, perhaps. Cancerian energy on this. You could be somebody born closer to the summer solstice, so June 17th through to the 20th, or 21st-ish, 20th. But somebody who is ruled by the phases of the moon. The moon is going to be very important, didn't I say? Blood moon. The blood moon. The moon. There's something that's going to be revealed to you during the night or during the day after the night of the blood moon. Deception is lifting, something that you've been deceived by. The truth. Let's get your deviant, the moon, deviant moon tarot, and we'll start to clarify this puppy. Sit back and relax, guys. I use YouTube Pro, and it helps tremendously because I can turn off my screen and still get the audio from whatever I'm watching. So that's highly beneficial when you're watching longer videos, podcasts, that kind of thing on YouTube, because it doesn't kill your battery, because screen is what kills your battery on your phone. So that's what I would say. You can carry your phone around in your pocket or leave it on your kitchen counter or do whatever you're doing and still listen to what's going on. But this is going to be lengthy. We're going to go through every month here for you and clarify everything. A max of 3 cards unless I have anything flip or jump larger than that, but I'm going to try and keep it to 3 cards each for each of the months here for you. That one wanted to escape. That one wanted to escape. That one wanted to... All right. Let's get started, shall we? The Hermit. So we have the Hermit in the reverse for November, for the remainder of November for you. This is coming out, emerging from the cave of self-discovery, Virgo energy, realizing a deep personal truth. There is an inner knowing that you have that you may not necessarily be revealing to anybody else, but there is illumination with that lantern there. A knowledge, a knowing about something about yourself that you have learned, that you are understanding now, by and large, about you. If you're wondering why I'm looking off camera a little bit more, I have this guy here, and sometimes I look in it and I see things, but, you know, I don't know why I'm being distracted by it today in particular, but I'm getting that. What is this truth about? It's very personal. I don't necessarily know that you want people to know about it. Can't take that many. It's something about March, because all those cards landed on my 3 tattoo. Which isn't about March. It's my life path number. It's fine. But what do we have for you, Gemini? Gems. Tell me more. Tell me about this emergence from the cave. Seven of Wands energy, trying to come out of a state of being on guard, trying to be less defensive about something. Feeling defensive about something. You've been defensive about something? You always feel like you have to be defensive. In the reverse, it'd be coming out of a defensive state. Here you're feeling defensive. About a pursuit of a happy home life, a happy family life, the zenith of emotional fulfillment and connection with somebody. Tell me more. Yeah, it's what you believe to be your wish fulfillment with a Leo individual, more than likely. Also, a yes card. This is a yes card. The tarot. Something that is about the sunlight. Something that is the sun. Something that makes you feel warmth. You're defensive about it. It literally gives you a warm feeling. Remember that lantern was light, illumination, which is knowledge. Attention, a spotlight. You're defensive about a spotlight being placed on a happy home life situation, or a Ten of Cups connection, or one that you wish to be a Ten of Cups connection. Your pursuit of it. Sorry. Oh, that was interesting. December 2025, or 2024. You could be looking towards next year in December for something in particular. But this is the connection with the self for you. Magician energy. Self-mastery through mastery of the elements, or vice versa, mastering the self in order to master the elements. This is also manifestation. So action. One of my absolute favorite quote in the entire universe is by Shakespeare. Action is eloquence, which it means that eloquence is when we put ourselves into action. Manifestation is only beauty when it is action, not I say that I'm going to do something. It's actually going out and doing it, right? Tell us more about the Magician here. What is the action? What is the manifestation in December that you're looking towards? What are you making happen? It's like you're making things happen in December. Oh, King of Pentacles in the reverse. That's tricky. It's like the mastery of the self happens through not providing hearth and home, or not being the one offering stability in the home space, in your home space. It's almost as if you're demonstrating how somebody else can master themselves by harnessing the elements. So my grandfather, he had this one saying this really long time ago, and I will always remember. It was a very, very long time ago. He said this, and I do want to let you know, I'm almost 40 years old, so highly dated, right? But I remember him saying this once when I was very small. The best way for a baby to learn how to swim is to throw them out the boat. And so, the best way for a baby to learn how to swim is to throw them out the boat. I think that you're attempting to teach somebody how to master the self or master elements in order to master the self by no longer providing them with security and stability in their home space or in your home space. Oh shit. Well, I gotta take this one. I can't take all of these. There is a feeling of being left out in the cold that is not a reality. Somebody is watching you, but you provided enough warmth. And, they're feigning a feeling of being left out in the cold when the fact and matter is that they're quite comfortable. They're watching you to see what your reaction is when they silent treatment you. When they, it's almost like you know that this is all a production, a big production. Because there is no big destitute energy here with it in the reverse. Normally this would be feeling destitute. A feeling of destitute or poverty, being impoverished, or that, and that. But you do have the ability to rescue yourself. Like, this is victimhood energy. But this is exercising self-empowerment and understanding that this is all an illusion, right? And that one can save oneself. If somebody's watching, it's almost like they're... like when a kid falls and hurts themselves, but they're old enough to know better. But my brother comes to mind. So I left home when my brother was like 5 years old. And I remember when he was like 4. And he was no longer young enough to cry every time he fell down. And you'll notice this with your own kids if you're old enough that you have your own children. But typically when a baby is no longer scared when they fall or hurts themselves every time they fall, what ends up happening when they're in the older stage of toddler is they will fall and they will start to cry, and then they will they're almost not even crying anymore, they're just kind of whimpering and whining. Then they look up and they're almost like it's just autopilot, and they're looking to see if you're looking, and then they stop as soon as they see that nobody's paying attention. But then if they see somebody look over, then it's waterworks and screaming. That's kind of what this kind of feels like to me. Is that somebody is falling down and feigning upset until they notice that you're not looking, and they'll kind of like look up and see if you're looking, and if you react to them being upset because they don't have the coin, then they start bawling and screaming and kicking. But if you don't pay the mind to them about it, then they just go about their own business. It's the same thing. I remember my kid doing that too. Anyway. What else? For December. They're interconnected, yes. You're trying to demonstrate for somebody the independence, that self-mastery, right? Yeah, because they have great healing that needs to happen. Star in reverse, Aquarius energy here. Somebody needs to temper themselves also. They need to realize what their path is, and that they're kind of barking up the wrong tree with something. The star is supposedly the path of great emotional, and it's the deep satisfaction that you always have wanted to achieve it's bigger than, I love the way Christina from Sassy Scorpion Tarot describes it, if you can ever catch her describing the difference in between the wish of the sun versus the wish of the star. Because you always know that the stars are there even when the clouds are out. But you walk outside and you feel the sun right away. You know that you got that wish. You have to trust that the star is there and continue moving forward even through trials and tribulations. With this in the reverse, it's almost as if somebody has been following a star path, following a path towards a wish, and they know it's not their big, bad, amazing, be-all, end-all. But because somebody reacts to their they're kicking and screaming whenever they fall down, they follow that path anyways, and you're trying to kind of step back and not be that security, stability for their home space. And when they feel destitute or isolated or cold and hungry and alone and blah blah blah, I'm cold, I'm ugly, I'm always confused by everything. That's a Stone Sour song, isn't it? No, it's a Slipknot song. I'm cold, I'm hungry, I'm always confused. No, not hungry. Why am I saying that? I'm cold, I'm ugly, I'm always confused by everything. And my heroes are dead, they died in my head. What the hell did I do to deserve all of this? Yeah, it's an old one. It's an old Slipknot song. Anyway, yeah, it's almost like somebody knows that they're not following the right path. Either that, or you come to a realization that you're not following the right path because somebody kicks up a fuss when you pay mind to them kicking up a fuss about certain things. They continue to, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, but when you don't react to it, then they kind of just go away, or they don't. I don't know. You don't want to talk about it, that's for sure. January. What did I say? Oh, look again. Here we have again the Five of Coins in the reverse. It's somebody who's not trapped in this destitute energy. You're not trapped in destitute energy. I think that's a realization that you're coming to during January also. Is that you can clothe yourself in the blanket there. And that you have the opportunity to not be left out in the cold. It's a realization that you are empowered to bring yourself out of that cold. You don't need anybody to do it for you. You know? And more than likely that you've always had that ability to exercise self-empowerment and warm yourself. That you didn't ever need anybody to pay you mind when you fell down. You could pull yourself back up. And that you've always been doing that. Somebody has been telling you that they're a part of this and that they're the reason that this and this, but that's bullshit. You did it all yourself. There is a little bit of an imbalance here with a friendship. An imbalance created in between mind, body, and spirit. It's almost as if somebody's paying more attention to one of the three aspects of self than the others. As a result of this friendship, or in the friendship itself, there's an emphasis on the physical or the emotional or the mental, spiritual, what have you, more than the other aspects of the self. Tell me more. Do we have a flipper there? No, we didn't. Oh my god, 1 second. Okay. What else? The moon. You're feeling disillusioned. You're feeling like somebody is trying to confuse you, or there's deception at play. Just things are shrouded in darkness for you. Cancerian energy, which means this is going to be during my birthday. My birthday is January 6th, and this is the Cancer full moon, which is January 6th, coincidentally. So during January, right around shortly after New Year's, very, very shortly after New Year's, there's going to be a feeling of deception. You could be having nightmares, or you could be having dreams that are kind of pointing you towards a revealing of sorts, of some deception of some sort. I don't like to fearmonger or anything like that, but that's what it's here saying. Notice how we have the puppets there at play. It's almost as if somebody is playing puppet master and kind of creating illusions for you. There is some destitute and desperation. Why did that come up in my head? I was about to say there is dishonesty was what I was going to say, but destitute and desperation came up. Dishonesty about destitute and desperation that's happening during January with someone. And they're kind of playing with the strings a lot when it comes to you or somebody else. They're making it seem as if there's destitute and desperation. Fuck. Then it's dishonesty. It's a way that they control you. Comes up during the new moon. Or not the new moon, the full moon. Tell us more. It's got to do with this friendship that's out of balance. Friendship or partnership. We have two cards that have fallen here for you. The Wheel of Fortune and the Ace of Wands. Fortunately, there is a turn of events that creates, I'm going to say this is 11th, on the 11th, but this could be just on the 10th. There is an initiation, a spark of idea. There is inspiration that happens, or a creative new venture for you, new project that happens for you. That kind of sparks your interest and your intrigue. It is a change of direction for you. Is something that helps you move forward in some way out of this feeling of imbalance, it seems. Interesting. Matchstick of the Divine Inspiration, movement forward for you. And it's just progress, but it's also a change in fortune for you, a change in your luck. During February, intriguingly enough, we have two Libra cards. We have the Queen of Swords, feminine Libra energy, with the Justice card. This could be legal cases. You could be dealing with legal paperwork during February, but also, you see that key there? They're the key holder, so there's decision making at play here. Somebody holds the key. You hold the key. What is that? Frozen by Madonna in the dead of winter. If I could melt your heart. This is somebody with long black hair. That's very striking in that video because Madonna never looks like that, and she has like long black hair and all that shit. Anyway, and there's something about a legal contract or legal decision, court case, or balance, equilibrium, fairness, and justice here. It could be a hearkening back to Libra's season, which would have been mid-September to mid-October. But there's something about you hold the key. You hold the key to balance, justice, equilibrium. Tell us about this. Tell us about it. You hold the key? You're the key holder? Like you have the, you're empowered to lock somebody out. You're empowered to open the door. You're empowered to close the door. Tell us, tell us, tell us. You would have to be Canadian to know what that means. Tell us. You hold the key. This is about firm foundations, the four posts of the marriage bed, the four walls of the home. You hold the key to your home. You have the ability to lock somebody out of your home. You have the ability to let somebody into your home, but you have to invite them. That's a weird fucking turn. Balance, fairness, equilibrium, and justice. You allow somebody in. It's like a vampiric energy. You know how, like in folklore, ancient folklore, you had to invite a vampire into your home. Otherwise, they couldn't enter. They were not allowed to enter unless you invited them. There's communication about this. Communication regarding this. You could be receiving communication about a home, about the four posts of the marriage bed, about the four walls of the home, about stability and security of your home. Tell me more. Yeah. Being on the verge of success, yet being exhausted by it. And somebody is just letting go. Somebody's giving up. It's like, you know, when you're pushing a boulder up a hill and you're so tired that you just want to let the boulder go. Some people will continue to push the boulder. This is letting the boulder roll back down the hill. Somebody's communicating that they're done. It's fair. It's just. You hold the key to the home. You cannot, somebody cannot enter unless you invite them. It's almost as if there's the home, you get the communication. You get a request. And you have to, and you consistently allow somebody, you accept it all the time. There's something about the law here. It's balance, justice, equilibrium, fairness that's related to this. It doesn't seem right. During March's time cards, our timing starts here. Namely, it's because we have March ruled by the High Priestess for Pisces, and then we have April ruled by Aries, which it also has the Fool card here. We see the third month, right? Or March 3rd is important, but the blood moon also from your channeling for your songs. We have a celebration, a gossiping hen party, but usually when it's in the upright, it's simply a celebration. A bridal shower could also just be a gathering together of friends for drinks, merriment, celebration of some sort. There's a secret or something that you're intuitively guided to examine further about a celebration, a gathering where there is libations involved, for lack of a better term. You're wanting to examine it further. Could also be three sisters gathering, the gathering of three sisters, three women, where they drink and break bread. But there's a secret about it, or there's something you intuitively understand about this celebration during March. Also remember the blood moon happens during 13th, 14th, 2025, and that was a part of this whole thing. Tell us more about it. Tell me. What is this that you're intuitively guided to about it? What do you know? What is the secret? What is the secret? I just saw truth there. Tell me. I just saw truth and then I saw the Three of Cups. Come on. Okay, freeing yourself from a mental prison. You can free yourself from a mental prison, victimhood energy. You're no longer feeling like you're throwing yourself on swords. Or it's like something where there's an alleviation of victimhood mindset over something. Like you feel empowered all of a sudden. Like you're no longer trapped in this tower, hurling yourself on swords every night. Again, look at that moon. It's that same type of illustration as in the moon card from January. So there's something about this that's related to that January energy. Tell me more, the deception of January. Tell me more. It's like something that's happening in March that's related to January. The feeling of deception back in January. It's like there's a secret during March that's coming to the surface, or that you intuitively know is linked to January's deception. And you're empowered to make a decision for yourself, to free yourself from the headspace of that. Like you get validation that what you thought was going on is, there's no communication of an offer. You were looking at an offer coming through, a communication of an offer coming through, a timepiece, something of worth, a contract of sorts, a peace offering. It's more something tangible, something of value. Something that you could take away, that you could work with. Something you could work with, right? Thank you. Something you could work with. Jesus. I thought I had another flipper in here, did I? No. Okay, but we have two. There's no transformation or ending in sight with something. No endings, therefore no new beginnings. Scorpio energy with the Death card. And then Scorpio, double Scorpio here, with the King of Cups in the upright. The King of Cups is somebody who presides over the heart space with a high level of security and immovability. They understand with a high level of maturity, emotional maturity rather, when to give of their heart space and when to hold back from giving with their heart space, and when it's more prudent to protect their heart. When should I give my cup to somebody, and when should I protect the contents of my cup from somebody? Your warning bells are going off, red flags, all the bells and whistles are going off in your head about why you should no longer yield to somebody with this cup. You should not give of your cup. Because the intuition, the secrets, there isn't something of worth being communicated or offered to you. And you now feel empowered through seeing somebody's actions and seeing that over time, intuitively you understand better now that the tangibility of the situation isn't there. I'm hearing Rich Girl, that Rich Girl song by Soul X. I'm a rich girl now. But it's almost as if you can see that somebody's off celebrating something, and you understand there's a secret or something intuitively off about it. You're just kind of like, and you understand that your personal, there's something that's not being communicated here. And you understand that there's no end in sight or finish with something, and therefore new things cannot begin. And where is it that you're placing your energy inappropriately and appropriately? And are you doing that to your benefit or detriment? During April, another timing card for you. This is risk resulting in reward, or at least the ability to be spontaneous enough to be adventurous, which then as a result is the ability to learn through adventurousness. This is Aries energy with the Fool here for April. Tell us more about this. Okay, I have flipper. I have two flippers. Ace of Cups in the reverse. You're taking a risk in, and you're being adventurous not to begin a new relationship or renew. Choosing not to begin or renew a relationship of sorts. understanding the need to nurture and cultivate something and sit back in patience of something. You're redirecting your energy into a passion project, a creative project, or endeavor. Something that's not on the water side of things, not on the emotional plane, but on the creative side of things. Tell me more. Oh, I thought I had a flipper, but I don't think. Oh, I do. It's right there. There, fool for fool. Risk-taking, adventurousness, the need to break out and do something different for the purposes of learning. Bang your head against the wall. See if it still hurts. You're still just banging your head against the wall. You're not leaving the home, and therefore you're not going on a journey and not learning. This is time for you to embark on a journey. It's time for you to go out and do something for yourself. It'll be adventurous. Spontaneity. You can, the moment for passion and striking while the iron is hot is here. You have a sudden urge during April to break out and do something and be spontaneous with something. The action. Action is eloquence. Aries is action. So there is the need to do that. You're feeling it strongly during April, where they're fool for fool. You have to do something, and you're feeling as if it's like shit or get off the pot type of energy. You have to do something. You can no longer rest on your laurels with something any longer. It's almost like you've been patient waiting for something to begin that's not begun truly, and you have to move on something. You have to go. You have a journey to take. And so movement forward has to happen. Not necessarily, and if it's not going to happen here, you have other action you need to take for the purposes of learning, for the purposes of experiencing. Life is nothing if we are experiencing nothing. You are not developing the self if you are not experiencing things. Anything that hinders your growth and keeps you from experiencing life is hindering you from developing the self. You know? And that's a disservice to you, right? What do we have for the 10 of Wands for May? This could be your birthday month, and this could also be your birthday month, right? Latter half, or I'm sorry, no. This would be their birthday month. The latter half of May could be your birthday month. You're feeling a lot of responsibility and burden. Tell me why. Oh, we're shuffling backwards now. Look at that. Why do you feel this burden and responsibility? There's a meeting of the two that must happen together. There's burden and responsibility to meet up with somebody of emotional significance. You're feeling the weight and the burden in order to make this happen. I'm hearing this dialogue. Why is it my responsibility to make it happen? Tell me more. Tell me more. Oops. Oh, we just had a whole bunch of card vomit over here. You got a lot to say about it. Yeah, mastery of the self. Remember we were talking about this back in December? Somebody's kicking and screaming and wants you to come to them and meet up with them. And you're like, no, I'm going to I've mastered myself. And therefore I can master the elements. I have the ability to make things happen. I do make things happen. So you want to meet up with me? How come I got to make it happen? You want to meet up with me? You make it happen. I think that you're saying that. Standing in your power, standing in your personal power with that magician, because this is your power card, is I make things happen when I want them to happen. However, I'm always the one who makes this happen when I want to meet up with you. You want to meet up with me? You come to me. You make it happen. Because I got a lot of burdens and responsibilities that I'm trying to handle over here right now. I'm like hearing this. Tell me more. During May. The Emperor, that's right. You're coming from a place of power, a place of personal power. leadership energy. You could be a leader. You could have responsibilities that have to do with leadership energy during this time, but you will not be told what to do. You're leading with a firm hand. You're being the fire that warms rather than burns. You're being dominant, not domineering, and in that you're very secure and able to firmly state what you will and will not do. You are not ordered around any longer. I think that's something that you're seeing here with the self-mastery of this, is that if you would like to meet with me in the meeting of the two here that we have with that Two of Cups, that if you would like to meet with me, then this needs to happen on my terms, on my turf, because I have mastered this self. And therefore, I mastered the elements. I make things happen. I am not just buzzwords and illusion. I make shit happen. I am the action. So now it's your turn, right? If you want something, you come to me. During June, you have healing energy, deep introspection, rejuvenation, going within in order to heal the heart space. There could be mindfulness, meditation going on here. Just a time of connecting with the self in order to heal some things. I'm not quite sure what the things are, but it could just be the time to go within and take some stillness, some quiet time for yourself here. And so the connectedness with the self is important. Still shuffling backwards, eh? Well, that's too many. Yeah, connecting with the self. Quiet repose. Tell us why during June. We'll say tell us why during July. Tell us why during June. The Lovers. This is also one of your power cards. In order to evaluate your decisions. Often, a lot of tarot readers will explain this as the choice card also. So there is a choice that is being made in a personal, deep connection. You're going within to evaluate whether or not this is something that you will choose. And remember, choosing the self is also a choice in love. It's not just choosing in between two different people or choosing one person. It's also when you choose yourself, because you cannot love another person if you do not love yourself. If you're treating yourself like crap, then you got to start, learn to crawl before you walk, you know? And that's serious relationships 101. You know, a lot of people skip step 1 and go right to step 10. They want the whole thing, the house, the car, the picket fence, the kids, the marriage, all of it. And they don't even realize that they don't have fuck all for a connection with themselves. Or they hate themselves, or they have a low opinion of themselves, and that's why they accept so much garbage from others. They take on other people's emotional space junk. They allow other people to walk all over them. You know, they're doormats, you know, spineless people who, and I'm not trying to, you know, I'm not trying to talk shit or anything, but the point is that when you do not love yourself, you accept anything and everything that other people throw at you because you think that you are worthy of nothing more. Just because somebody will pay attention to you and take the time to spend with you, oh my God, you're so flattered. But when you believe yourself worthy and you do love yourself, you understand that you deserve better. And you demand more. Right? I always like to think of it like this, and it took me a long time to learn this after, in fact, it was after my failed marriage, and I shouldn't call it a failed marriage because I actually was a very serious situation that I had to get myself out of, because it wasn't safe for me to be there. However, after realizing that and getting myself out of that situation and having a couple of long talks with myself, four of swords, I realized that, oh my God, like, especially since I was in that relationship for half of my life when I left it. I was in that relationship for 16 years and I was 32 when I left, so I was 16 when I got with that person. I had no clue the level of bullshit I was putting up with because I didn't have a point of comparison. I thought, I mean, because you get so locked into the idea that, you know, when somebody does anything nice for you, that's like the greatest thing in the world. Yeah, of course, because you get so used to somebody treating you like garbage, and you might have started out with a crap opinion of yourself, so you never thought that you were worth anything more. You know, it's ignorance. You know, the difference in between stupidity and ignorance is you just don't know any better. You never thought that you were worthy of this, that, and the other until you happen upon other people who treat you better and they aren't even in romantic relationships with you. That's actually when I did realize that I was in a really bad situation, was when strangers and colleagues treated me better than my partner, and that I couldn't even have I couldn't even be treated with simplistic decency by somebody that I spent almost 20 years with. Never mind safety, physical safety, emotional safety, mental safety, and sexual and financial safety. You know, I think that it's important to remember that that's a great way to look at it. Is that when you love yourself, you have a higher standard for yourself. But you also have to know better in the first place. So look at all of the personal connections that you have in your life. Look at the way coworkers treat you. If your lover treats you so poorly that everybody else around you, including strangers and coworkers, treat you better, then that's a shitty situation that you're in. You have to ask yourself, what accountability do I have in this situation? Why am I allowing this? And are there conversations that have to happen so that this is not the case? Right? Wow. Yeah. And I'm not saying that, we all have a comfort level with our partners that we don't have with our colleagues, with people that we go to college with, all of that kind of stuff, because it's different. There are boundaries that we have with other people in our lives where, there's mutual respect and stuff like that. And we get comfortable with our romantic partners, and they have other ways that they speak with us. It's a little different, and they can lose their temper with you, whereas, but there's a line, right? There is an invisible boundary that other people, as well as that is applicable to both. All right. So when your romantic partner is crossing the line that is applicable to both your romantic partners and everybody else in your life in terms of respect and in terms of all of those other things, that's when you gotta, anyway, soapbox done. Yeah, anyway, you get it. It's a whole thing. And bang your head against the wall, see if it still hurts, because I ended up subsequently in different relationships where after the fact, after I left my boyfriend, after my ex-husband, and I was dating, where I ended up in situations like that too. School of Hard Knocks will really teach you when it comes to self-love. You think you know until you realize you don't, right? The Hierophant with the in the reverse. The gaining of perspective about higher level commitments. And is somebody have you in their back pocket in terms of higher level commitments? It's also about deep-seated religious beliefs and philosophies things connected to organizational and institutional structures, highly structured religious organizations, just things that could be trapped in dogma also. But it's the gaining of perspective, and it's linked to time for that there. This is Taurus and Pisces, so this is something that you've come to realize, boom, during April or Aries season. And that's where you're driven to make a choice. June, harkening back to April. Because you need to, time. Time has passed, and you're realizing where somebody's got you in their back pocket. Sorry, I can't take these anyway, there's too many. July for you. I told you it was going to be a long one. In July, we have 3 cards. We have the Page of Swords in the reverse with the 9 of Coins in the upright and the Emperor in the upright. So during July, you're turning a blind eye to something, or this is willful ignorance. Trying not to look at something. Also attempting not to impulsively communicate. With your ability to stand on your own 2 feet. Self-reliance also. And leadership energy. Ruling with the firm hand. Being in control of yourself. Being able to call the shots from a confident space. Leading with confidence. Tell us more about this one. July for Gemini. Okay, because you're coming out of healing. You're healing something. You've been healing something for quite some time, Sagittarian energy. It's something that you've been, there's like contemplative energy with it. It's like something that you healed through contemplation over a longer period of time. Using patience, because temperance is patience also, hey? There is a little bit of depression associated with it, a lack of interest. You're like, yeah, so what? There's wine, chucking that, glass of wine off the balcony. You just don't care. It's like you've contemplated something over a long enough period of time. You've remained vigilant and patient long enough. And at this point, you got a lack of interest because of grief, abandonment, and loss. There's a little bit of depression there. And so you're concentrating on your self-reliance and independence and how you can develop yourself into a confident leader. Interesting. And you're purposely avoiding looking at something else. Purposely avoiding the perseveration on something else or obsessively watching something else because it's not serving you. You realize through contemplative energy and the amount of time that you've remained patient waiting for something while also trying to heal it subsequently. You're depressed over it, but you're also throwing it out with you're done because you realize the pause button that it's put on your self-development. Your ability to develop your leadership potential, your ability to become more self-reliant and independent. That's all fallen by the wayside while you've been trying to heal something. And in July, you realize that. You're a little depressed over it. Tell me more. It's like you feel like you shot yourself in the foot. Okay, yeah. Here's a reminder for you from Spirit to remain in a space of exercising gratitude for what you do have, for what you have managed to develop during that time. Don't worry about what was lost. Keep your eye, remain focused on what you still have. Exercise gratitude. During August, we have the Page of Cups. I got to get moving, guys. I got to get ready for work. Page of Cups, we have for August. There's an apology or something that's like a small communication of an emotional sense being offered to you. It's going to be through a litany of letters. But it seems like either, it's like, I'm getting it here, too little, too late. Too little, too late. And they're coming from different directions. Too little, too late. Insufficient. It's like not, it's significant enough for the amount of time that you've dumped into something during August. These little pieces of this, and this. It's like too little, too late, but also it's like the word incongruent. Incongruent. Inappropriate, thank you. Inappropriate for the amount of effort and energy and emotional investment that you've put into something. It's like all of these little communications are coming in. You see, we have them here. We have like 4 different letters that are coming in on this little thing here. If you can see them. Can you see them? There are 4 different letters up above this little rabbit's head here. They're all coming in. They're all little tiny communications. Remember, the page is just a little guy, right? Little tiny communications, but they're inappropriate for the level of emotional investment that you put into something. It seems like it doesn't do justice for the amount of time, energy, effort that you put into something. Incongruent. Are you, you could be somebody who's really into mathematics. Could be somebody who's really into mathematics. Is that incongruent? It's like geometry. You're in school. Geometry was a whole thing. The word incongruent. There's gossip. 3 sisters getting together. Gossip. People talking shit over drinks. You might have people coming to you in little spurts telling you what somebody said. It's almost like you're hearing through the grapevine somebody's apology or how somebody feels about this and blah, blah, blah. And it's like it's not appropriate for the level of emotional investment. It's kind of like you put all of your effort into making sure somebody knew that you were interested in them. And like you're hearing that they want to go on a date with you, or somebody like comes up to you and says, oh, so-and-so wants to know if you'll go on a date, like they're fucking 12. But it's like, sack up, you're like, 40. I put all of this effort into making sure that da-da-da-da-da, and like you're sending your friend over here passing me a note like we're in fucking grade school. Do you know what I mean? It's just, yeah. Anyway, I don't know. But this is gossiping energy associated with this little tiny communication about emotion. It's not enough. It's not enough. Insufficient funds. Or am I getting insufficient funds? Somebody treats you like a bank, maybe. Insufficient funds. Cancerian energy here with the Chariot. You're moving on and moving forward. Travel, relocation. This is usually my change address card, but I feel like you've moved on, you've moved forward, and if you do decide to communicate, you're communicating that. This is also connectedness with the family, because Cancer is ruled by the family. You could be traveling towards family, traveling to spend time with family, relocating to be closer to family, but I think that it's more about movement forward, progress. You're moving on. You're moving forward in your own way. Tell me more. Anything else for August? For Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Oops. Well, one stock, so we gotta take that one. Yeah, and you're not returning the ball. Somebody is giving you this tiny little pathetic attempt at an apology or attempt at an expression of emotion that's totally inappropriate for the level of investment you put in. And so you're being the person who, you're not being receptive to it. You're not communicating it back. They might as well be playing they might as well be playing tennis with a wall and a potato. Sorry. That is my favorite analogy of all time. I'm proud of that one. I made that one up. Playing tennis with a wall and a potato. Yeah. Anyway, because that's what it is. Here's my tiny little communication to you. It's like saying, yeah, oh, well, what do you want? I'm sorry. Or, hey, how's it going? Just wanted to see how you're doing. And it's like you had this whole fucking, like, decade-long thing with somebody, right? And it's like, oh, hey, go fuck yourself. Do you know what I mean? Or radio silence. In fact, I'm gonna hazard to guess that it's gonna be radio silence. You're gonna be like, actually, everything's going fantastic. I'm doing this, and this with my life, and blah, blah. Hope everything's good over there. Peace. You know what I mean? It's just not going to be like, it's not going to be what they were hoping for. They were probably hoping for you to, like, be like, oh my God, I'm so glad that you reached out. I've missed you so much. You know, they're expecting that they're going to just casually say something to you, and that you're going to fall all over yourself in this telenovela type of, reaction. You're not having it. During, sorry, I kind of got ahead of myself here. September, Trumpeters, call passionate communication here. You're communicating something. You have an announcement of sorts that you are communicating through mail or by letter. Something very passionate. It might have to do with an offer or something on the creative project front. It's news. There's some good news that you're trying to communicate or that you'd like to celebrate. It could have to do with something that was an injustice. You're celebrating winning out on something like that you felt a deep sense of injustice about. This is going to be in the second half of September, with that being the Justice card. That's Libra energy. So you could actually have won a court case and that's being announced to you, or it's an announcement about something that you feel was not fair that's being brought back into balance for you. It's in your favor. A ruling in your favor is being announced. Tell me more. For Gemini, September. September. Come on. I got to go. Come on. Do I have a flipper there? No, I don't. Okay. Oh, here we go. Oh, perfect. It's about Taurus individual or Libra individual. So this is definitely, it's balance and equilibrium. It's about something that was not just, wasn't fair. There was somebody who was giving or taking more than they were entitled to. And this will definitely be during the latter half of September for you. It's a great time for you to get connected with the earth. It could be about a creative project. It could be about something that is arts-based. But there is something that's coming back into balance for you with that. There's an announcement about it for you. This could also be an invitation for you to connect with the earth or to become more creative. It could be inspiration striking for you during the new moon in Libra. All three Libra cards there. You had those back in February too. This could be something that you began examining or started out going after in February that's announced. The results of it are announced in September. In which case, unfortunately, it may not turn out for you. Depends. You'll have to kind of fill in the blanks yourself. Color it in for yourself. Because if you know that you're, for lack of a better term, the guilty party in the situation, it might not work out for you. Oops. Sorry. The star is October for you. Aquarian energy. You're following your own path towards healing, but also towards something of great promise. A wish fulfillment of great promise for yourself. You don't necessarily know that it's the correct one for you, but you're trying. You're trying to move forward and break out into something that you believe might be your legacy. Could be something that could provide you with the height of emotional fulfillment, the height of spiritual fulfillment, your Perfektenschlag, you know. Again, healing, also hope, faith, something you can have faith in. Very slowly, methodically, and strategically with that Virgo energy on the Knight of Pentacles, as opposed to impetuously or impulsively. You're actually holding back as much as you possibly can from doing this impulsively. Gemini energy, that's you right there. So you're trying to kind of go from a different speed and different space than you would be used to. You're trying to do this with plans in mind. You're trying to come up with a blueprint in order to follow, in order to do this the right way. You want to do something the right way. You don't want to come out guns a-blazing and lop people's heads off. You know? Tell me more. Finally, for you. October. Tell us more about October for Gemini, please. Oh, this is a very eventful, interesting read. Queen of Swords in the reverse. Because we have it like this, following that Justice reverse, Six of Pentacles reverse for September, I think that there might be a feeling of injustice, or you might have been on the losing end of a legal matter, after all. There's a feeling of a lack of fairness and equilibrium in a situation if it has nothing to do with legal matters. Something is out of balance and out of whack during September and October for you. Or you're reticent to move forward with anything less than a slow, methodical plotting order, simply because you have experienced a lack of equilibrium and balance in give and take situations, and you have lost out and felt a sense of injustice, or lost out in a legal situation in the past, and so you're attempting to do things from a different, you're approaching something from a different angle moving forward, having the knowledge of how shit can go sideways really fast if you don't do it correctly, if it's not perfect and right. You may feel that something that happened to you was not fair, and you're thinking about it during September and October, that you gave a lot and received very little in return. Bottom of the deck, self-reliance and independence energy again for you here. The ability to stand on your own feet, and the ability to enjoy the garden of your own making, right? That's what I've got for you, Gemini. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was a long one. They've all been really long. Stay tuned for the next read, which is going to be a spread that I made. It's going to be a love spread. Normally, I don't like to do those just because what comes out is what comes out. You can't force the tarot to be what you want it to be. It tells you what it is going to. But thanks so much for watching. We'll see you when we see you next. I hope this was helpful. Okay?